It's a grand old land we have from sea to shining sea. Verdant valleys, sky-high hills, rich farms and forest tall, oceans to fish, mines to dig, there's plenty for us all. No kings, no crowns, no tyrants, no slaves, no chains for us. A land where each man's talents are free to run their course. It's a grand old land we have from sea to shining sea. And to keep this old land grand is up to you and me. It's our land, not mine, not yours, not his, not theirs, but it's ours, you see. It's ours to love, to share, to build in unity. And it's our land to keep strong and brave and free. These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will in these times shrink from the service of his country. Those who stand firm now shall deserve the thanks of all future generations. These are the times, not just back there in the blistering cold first few winters of death and starvation at Plymouth Rock, not just back there at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, not just back there at Valley Forge or Saratoga or Trenton, not just back there at Flanders Field or Normandy or Anzio, Beachhead or Iwo Jima. No, right now in this bicentennial year of this republic are the times that try men's souls. These are the times that try men's souls, not our money. For what shall it profit a man or a nation if they gain the whole world and lose their own freedom? Not our military might. For what is the use of mountains of arms if there are no men with tried and true courage to defend the nation? That country is better fortified with a ring of courageous patriots than that which is fortified with a ring of gold and guns. A courageous man with a wooden club is a better guard than a coward with a cannon. That country which builds awesome temples and mighty roads while neglecting to manufacture real men will lose everything eventually. This country is getting ready for a dictator. Our only hope is to get back to the fundamental principles upon which this country was built. In the last 6,000 years, 19 civilizations rose from nothing to dominant power of their... The highways of history are littered with the broken, bleached bones of dead empires. Not one of them was destroyed by a foreign power's invasion. They all rotted to death from within. This generation of Americans is being weighed in the balances of history. Our soul, our character, our manhood is being tried. America, off with foolish manners, off with purring at every hypocritical praise, off with compromising ways. If foreign ideological dagger touch your noble modes or laws, off with your velvet and out with your claws. Once our fathers lived for freedom against all wild would-be tyrants' lies. Thus they formed the freest nation ever formed beneath God's skies. Are we true sons of our fathers, or throwbacks to some ancient slavish breed? Will we hold this freedom fortress, or now let it wilt and blight and bleed? Let us hold this freedom fortress against all wild would-be tyrant schemes, and let us build this freedom fortress, build it beyond our fathers' dreams. A college student said to me, the only bicentennial celebration that would be meaningful would be to resume the American Revolution. I was shocked until he explained what he meant. He put the accent on American, as opposed to the world socialist revolution now smothering the American people. The world communazi revolution, which, he reminded me, was launched in Germany May 1st, 1776, the same year the American Revolution was launched. Let's we, the broad middle majority, resume the American Revolution. We have in America an upper crust and a bottom crust, but it's what's in between that really counts, the great broad middle America. That's what gives America her spicy flavor and her wholesomeness. The Japanese commander who launched the attack on Pearl Harbor after the attack said, "When the American people realize what has happened to them, they will strike back with terrible resolve." We did. When you think of what has happened to us since Pearl Harbor, we ought to strike back with high and terrible resolve. We ought to resume the American Revolution. Resume means that you take up what you left off back there someplace. We left off the American Revolution back there someplace, and we have been on a socialist revolutionary binge. Let's kick the socialist drug habit and resume the American way. If the socialists took over the Sahara Desert, there would soon be a shortage of sand. Let's resume the American Revolution by first getting back to the bedrock of American liberty. George Washington said, "Of all the dispositions which lead to political happiness, religion and morality are indispensable." Franklin, at the framing convention at age 81, said, "If a sparrow cannot fall to the ground without God's notice, is it possible that a nation can rise without his aid?" The recorded testimony of practically all the principles of the founding of the American Revolution support the proposition that the bedrock of American liberty is faith in God the Father Almighty. There are no atheists among the farmers. Whoever puts a seed beneath the sod and waits to see it push away the clod believes in God. Don't worry about God being on America's side. In this bicentennial, let's get back on God's side. The only sure way of knowing God is on our side is for us to be on his side. There are the most extraordinary virtues in the most ordinary people, and God has a way of bringing out the best of a man and a nation. He makes a Lincoln of a country bumpkin. The mightiest oak grew from a little nut, plus God. As Patrick Henry said, "Sirs, we shall not fight our battles alone. A just and mighty God still presides over the destiny of nations." Let's resume the American Revolution by first of all getting our feet firmly fixed on the bedrock of American liberty, faith in God the Father Almighty. For we shall be governed by God, or we shall soon be ruled by tyrants. Adam Weishaupt, who launched the Socialist World Revolution in Germany May 1st, 1776, laid down as one of the 6 cardinal doctrines of his Illuminist, now called Communist, revolution as being, quote, "the abolishment of all religion," unquote. When in the same year, 1776, we laid the foundation of the American Revolution, we proclaimed, quote, "In God we trust," as though God himself raised up his people to confront the devil in the form of Adam Weishaupt and the World Revolution. Let's get back to the bedrock of American liberty, faith in God the Father Almighty, and while we are governed by him, no tyrant on earth can rule us. Let's get back to national faith in the 12 fundamental foundation pillar principles on which the American superstructure of liberty were built. The first fundamental principle of Americanism is national independence and self-determination. American principles have a likeness to the stars. We may never reach them, but we must chart our course according to them. In spite of the fact that America is $100 billion deeper in debt than all the other nations' debts combined, we go on with foreign aid. We have put out over $200 billion in aid to 127 countries throughout the world since 1945. And no real American would withhold help to anyone on earth. We have given more aid to others than all the countries of the earth in all the history of the world. We were able to do that because God blessed the American way. American kindness has made many trips around the world. However, it's time it stayed home for a little while. National independence. That is what the first American Revolution was fought for. Let's resume the national independence. Not national isolation, but national self-determination, self-reliance, self-discipline, and self-defense. No subservience to any other nation or collection of nations. The United Nations is not our master, it's our servant, or it is nothing. We had great hopes for the United Nations, but it has proved to be a big flop. I'm in favor of the United Nations admission to Red China, or the Sahara Desert, or the next hottest place. If it can't shape up, it should ship out. Americans advocate patriotism because we love humanity. When I love and serve and build my family strong, I love and serve and help and build my community strong. When I love and serve and build my community strong, I build my state strong. When I love and serve and build my state strong and independent, I love and serve and build my country strong. And when I love and serve and build my country strong and independent, I help, serve, and build the world strong. If I weaken the family, I weaken the community. If I weaken the community, I weaken the state. If I weaken the state, I weaken the nation. And if I weaken the nation and patriotism, I weaken civilization. Civilization begins with the family. Anyone who would weaken and abolish and impair the autonomy, sanctity, and strength of the family would shatter civilization. For civilization begins with the family. National self-determination, patriotism, does not cause war. It is the internationalist conquest madness that causes war. If a rapist strikes a woman and gets killed in the process, it is not the woman's self-defense that caused the fight. It was the attacker who caused it. It was not the patriotism of Poland which caused that war. It was the world-conquering lust of Hitler and Stalin that caused that war. Patriotism hates war. No patriot ever wanted the devastation of war to be brought to his nation. I never met a warmonger on a battlefield, but I met many a patriot there. Not patriotism, but the lust to establish a world dictatorship and global conquest causes war. A patriot does not crave war, but he craves permanent extinction of unhappy human hates. But patriotism will fight world conquest to the death, for world conquest never dies a natural death. It must be killed to preserve national independence. Let's resume the American Revolution for national independence.